Hello and welcome to Different Perspectives. I am Paul Ndiho. We are live today digging into one of the biggest cyber crimes, crackdowns in Africa that has never been seen before. Interpol has arrested more than 260 suspected scammers linked to sextortion and romance fraud, schemes that have devastated thousands of victims financially and emotionally. To help us unpack or make sense of what this means for Africa's digital future, I'm joined live by Adodien Adedeje, a tech analyst based in Lagos, Nigeria. He will share these why these scams are so effective and what can be done to fight back. Hello, Ade. How are you? And welcome to Different Perspectives.
Yeah, thank you, Paul, for having me today. Yeah,
Wow,
welcome.
what an interesting story that is unfolding across Africa, especially with the arrest of 260 over 260 people. What do you make of this? How significant is this operation?
Thank you very much. I think this is quite a significant operation, and at least we are happy that we are seeing this level of operation going on. Because one of the key things you have to understand is the fact that crime would always grow when there are no consequences. But when people know there are consequences to doing bad things, then the chances of we combating it is higher. So I think it's a very good thing that we are seeing more and more of this type of rate, of this type of things happening, so that people, especially young people that are involved in this thing, know that there are very serious consequences to some of these things that they do. Because one of the key things I keep telling a lot of people is the fact that at some of the times when we do cyber awareness training, especially for young people um, in various parts of the country. And sometimes when we get to touch on some of these topics, one of the key things you would be shocking, and one of the shocking things you will hear from them is that they don't consider it a crime. They don't consider these things a crime. They will tell you to them it's just business. Okay, they are not forcing anybody to give them money. They're just telling somebody, I love you, and they give them money for that. So to them, they don't consider it a crime. But then when we get to talk to them, sometimes we bring financial investigators from the Nigerian EFCC to talk to them. We bring, investigators from the Nigerian police to talk to some of these kids, some of these teenagers. And a lot of times you will see the shock in their face. So the truth is this, I think as a society, we are not doing enough awareness to let people know that these things are very serious crime. And for some of these kids also, because honestly speaking, some of these things are more like apprenticeship. So they learn it from one other person and they also start doing it. So those people that teach them this crime, what they tell them is, oh, you are not going into somebody's house to rob them. You are not. You're not carrying gun. You're not robbing a bank. You're just pressing some keyboards and taking some money from someone. So to them, they don't consider it a crime. But then when we see cases like this where we get this type of rates and it makes it to the public and people see, then it sends a signal to some of these young kids that look, this thing can actually be a very serious matter. So in cases where we have like really serious cases where some of them are even moved to the US or to foreign countries for prosecution, we've done programs where we had to play some of the videos of the arrest of some of these people to some of these kids to see that look, this thing is actually serious. And you could spend your prime in prison for this thing you are doing. You understand? So I think it's a very positive direction that we should go, and I hope that we can do more to be able to combat this crime.
How about people who say that we shouldn't be celebrating the arrest of some of these people? Instead, we should focus on deterrence. The governments should invest in some mechanisms that can detect these things before they happen, or even these scammers who are scam who go on these platforms, like you correctly said, they don't know that they are committing a crime, and especially where they love and money, you cannot play around those things. Those are very,
Yeah.
very personal and emotional things that some of these people go through.
So the thing is this: when people say we should not celebrate it, I think the question I will ask is what's the motive behind it? Because in a way, some people are sympathetic to it, and in a way, their sympathy might be justified. Nevertheless, I think the reason why I would say their sympathy may be justified is largely because sometimes when you talk to some of these kids, they will tell you this is the only thing they know how to do. There's no other opportunity for them. Okay, so and they will tell you they are not a danger to the society. They are in their home. They are not affecting anybody beyond what they are doing. Okay, they are possibly scamming somebody they don't even know, and to them they feel that those people are better off. I mean, if this person has, let's say, for example, 1 million, and I steal maybe 100 from the person, then I mean, I'm not committing any. I didn't do anything. I'm not committing any violent crime. Let me put it that way. Okay, so a lot of these things. So some people might justify it that way. Might look at it from that perspective. But then the truth also is that in saying maybe government should be more proactive about it, I feel that you can't even in the best of societies we still have criminals. Okay, we still have criminals, but the difference is the fact that um, serious governments across the world will go to any length to make sure that every crime is punished, every crime possible is punished. As long as they can get evidence and get those behind it, there will be punishment. And I think that is where, in a lot of ways, we are lacking as a country or as a people. People get away with too many crime, and sometimes, I mean, they also feel that as long as I have the resources, I can possibly get away with this crime, and that helps the crime to grow. Okay, so in cases like this, the honest review is, I mean, my own honest opinion is the fact that the most proactive thing you can do is to empower this set of people. These young kids are very, very vulnerable. Don't forget, a country like Nigeria, moving across Africa, Africa has the largest youth population. I mean, Asia, in all these places, they have a aging population. But when you talk of youth, Africa is where the use power is. But then the question is, what are we doing with that human capital? We are not doing anything with it. Okay. So, and then, I mean, an idle hand, like they would always say, is the devil's workshop. So, when you have a lot of youths that have so much energy, and that energy is not put into manufacturing, it's not put into solutions, it's not put into development, the next thing you would expect is that some of these hands will go into crime, and which is what we see today. Okay, so the most proactive thing we can do is to create systems where these young people, more young people, need to be empowered. A lot of people will stop doing this if they have the opportunity to earn for themselves. And it's not really their fault because to them, like I said, it's the only way they think they can make money. But then, if we as a society put things in place to let people know that we can be online and make money legitimately, then we can help reduce some of these things.
I think you're absolutely right. There are people who have argued that sextortion and romance scams seems to be growing. Why are these tactics easy to work, or sometimes for people who get scammed, they fall for these things online? From your expertise as an analyst, somebody who works in this space, what could be leading to this?
Okay, well, I think in the cybersecurity world, they would always say one thing that the weakest link in cybersecurity is the human factor. Okay, the human factor is the weakest link, and even some of the most successful cyber incidences were not technical acts in quotes. They were majorly social engineering. Okay,
Mhm.
social engineering attacks. So also, this type of scams are majorly leveraged majorly on social engineering, and that's you can. There's no tool you can use to solve social engineering. Okay, the best you can do is to continue to create awareness and tell people that look, you can do better. Okay, when you see things that are not right, when you see things that do not make sense, you should be sensible enough to know that this thing looks too good to be true. Okay, so there is no tool, there's no cyber tool you can use to stop social engineering. So the best you can do is to try to create more awareness on both sides of the divide, both the victim side and also the criminal side. Okay, so for the criminal side, create awareness to let them know that why do you choose to be a criminal when you can divert this capacity you have within you to do legit work online and make more money. On the other side, also for the side of the victims, create more awareness. And most of the time, when we look at the, the statistics of some of this crime, we realize that most of the victims are actually the older ones. They're actually the older ones. A large portion of them are the older ones. So there needs to be a way by which we can let some of these people know. And you can't blame them. They didn't grow up into technology.
Mm.
So they grew up and technology met technology. So it's not really their fault that they might not be as tech savvy as we are. But then we can still help them by helping them navigate this by creating awareness and creating a system, a support system that can help them understand that look, even if at all, you can date anybody you can date anybody across the world if you want to. But the important thing here is the fact that you should be careful what you give out to them, what you share with them, the information you share with these people, and of course, also for the victims, for the criminals also, they also need to know the consequence of what they are doing, and hopefully, we can create a better world. But the truth is this: it will continue to grow because they are not short of victims. As long as people make money, it's business. As long as people make money,
Mhm.
the business will grow because,
Right, right.
for example, is a cyber criminal, that is into this crime. He's doing it for the past 4 5 years and he's making money. He gets like 3 or 4 other teenagers, teaches. He puts them through the process of what he's doing. He has been doing this thing for the past 4 5 years. He has not been arrested. The teenagers within the environment can see that his life is changing and they are stuck in poverty, and he's telling them, look, you can come and join me and make money like me. I bought a car in 3 years. I did this in 2 years. And they can see all these things. That's the
Right.
reality of
Yeah.
these things we are talking about.
Mm.
And these kids, they are told know what to do. They are battling with their dad, their mom, because there's no money to eat, there's no money to feed, there's no money to go to school. And we have one senior, like we always call them, senior bros on the streets that he grew up like you, but his life
Right.
is way better than you. And these kids are looking at it and like, oh, this is the life I want to live. And the next thing is they start hanging out with these guys, and before you know it, they initiate them into the system. They will also become part of the problem. And the reason why they initiate them is because they want to the bros wants to create a bigger network, meaning that when these younger ones make money, they collect a share out of it. You understand? So that's where the system is. So it will continue to grow until we are able to create a system where
Right.
young people are empowered. And if young people are empowered, then they have no reason to go into crime.
For the first time, it used to be people outside of Africa who are getting scammed, right? Most of the cases would be people like here in North America, people in Europe, people from all over the world, but not Africa. Now, for the first time, over 1,400 victims were identified across 14 different countries. What does this say about Africa's digital vulnerability?
Well, the truth is this. It still goes back to, like I said, the nature of crime. When you look outside and you can't find victims like you used to, the next thing is to focus on those. Those that are cheering you in a way. Do you understand? For example, like in Nigeria, we used to have. When we talk about the Yahoo boys, people never really cared about. Almost every Nigerian will tell you they know a Yahoo boy. If there's any Nigerian that tell you they don't have a Yahoo boy within their vicinity, it's a lie. Do you understand? So it's a very, very prevalent thing. But then the reason why a lot of people do not bother much about it is people frown at it, but it's like, well, as long as it's not a problem to the local community, then let's just let them be. Because at that point, to everybody's understanding, It's possibly that maybe they're scamming somebody outside of the country, somebody in Europe, somebody in America, somebody in Asia. So whatever, the day government catches them, we celebrate that government catches them, but they're not an immediate threat to the local community. So let them be. But you see, the day they turn on the local community and the people know that, oh, is this person that stole from this person, that's when they will treat them like criminals. The local community will treat them like criminals. You understand? So now that we are having an increase in local attacks, meaning that, I mean, we are having Nigerians having their account wiped off by criminals within Nigeria. Okay, then people are now paying more attention to some of these things, and people are realizing that, oh, it's not just a international thing. It's this crime is coming home now. People are now doing. I mean, the banks will tell you how much they lost every year to criminals, cyber criminals within the country. Okay, so it's a very terrible thing, and as it continues to grow, would because some of these guys they will find ways to do it both locally and internationally. So whichever way you look at it, crime is crime. Okay, so that's why when you said it earlier that some people said there are some people who should not celebrate it. That's also the mindset that, well, they are not a threat to the local community, so why are you arresting them? But then when this crime grow, they will look for other avenues to do this crime. And the easiest avenue they would see is the guy next door to them. You understand? So I think in a lot of ways, whichever way we look at it, as long as we have cases where they are getting arrested and prosecuted, I think it deserves all the praise and commendation.
In case you are just joining us, we are live today digging into one of the biggest cybercrime crackdowns in Africa or Africa has ever seen. Interpol arrested more than 260 suspected scammers linked to sextortion and romance fraud. The schemes that have devastated thousands of victims financially and emotionally. To help us make sense, I'm joined live by my good friend Adodien Adodeje, a tech and cyber security analyst based in Lagos, Nigeria. He's here sharing his thoughts and perspectives about how some of these crimes can be averted. Uh, Back to you, Ade. How can ordinary internet users in Nigeria, elsewhere in Africa, maybe uh, protect themselves from these scammers? Take, for example, personally, I was hacked a couple days ago. I'm a tech savvy guy, but my LinkedIn page was violated. And because of that, somebody from your country, Ondo State, Nigeria, hacked into my system and literally took over. And LinkedIn has since uh, expelled me from their page, from their platform, saying that I violated their their terms. So how can people like me or other victims maybe get some kind of recourse out of this?
Thank you very much, Paul. It's a very unfortunate thing to hear because one thing is I know what it takes to build a social media account. It's not a very easy thing to do, especially you as a media person. I mean, a lot of the records of some of the things you've done in the past are on this account, and it can be very unfortunate to probably build an account for 5, 10 years and have someone violate it and mess it up and eventually get it shut down. It's a very unfortunate thing. And that's why, like I said, these crimes are crimes that can target anybody. It's not, the victims can be from anywhere, the perpetrators can be from anywhere. Okay? Just over between Friday and Saturday, we had to deal with a corporate client, one of my clients their emails got compromised, and for so throughout Friday, basically the business could not operate because I mean their emails got compromised, and then I mean it was used to do all manner of very crazy stuff. So we had to like went into a crisis mode, trying to help them resolve some of the issues that arose from it, and also put measures in place to avoid it from happening again. But one thing is this that I totally understand is the fact that now, for businesses or for individuals, One of the first things I would say is this: um, we encourage you to use two-factor authentication when on your social media account or any of your online accounts. The reason is this: that even if one way or the other your password is compromised, if your password is compromised, the two-factor authentication, which is either the platform sent you an SMS, sent you, or you use a authenticator like Google Authenticate or any of the authenticators, or you probably have maybe like a WhatsApp. I know some platforms also use WhatsApp for two-factor authentication. So that even if one way or the other your password gets compromised, except they have physical access to your device, it's not very likely that they can get past that. Okay, so two-factor authentication is one of the key things I would recommend. Then the other thing I would also recommend in terms of protection is you being able to protect your primary accounts. And what I mean by primary account is your email addresses, because if you look at it, your email address is your primary account. Every of your online profile, every of your online identity is linked to your email address. Okay, because I mean, anywhere you go and you want to create a profile, they will ask you for your email address and possibly your phone number. So your phone number, your email address, those are like what I call a primary account. Every other account are secondary. Okay, but your phone number, your email address, they are primary. So you have to protect those ones at all costs. Do your best to protect them and put measures in place to reduce the chances of people hacking into those accounts. One. Then number two, if you see suspicious activity, for example, from time to time, I do go, for example, go under my Gmail. If you go under a Gmail, you can check all the devices that are logged into your account. You can check the location and the devices. So you can, from time to time, go there, review. Is there any is there any accounts or is there any login? Because sometimes you might be connected to a third-party service, and through that third-party service, they might hack you and you won't even know. So they are just be curious sometimes to know, is there any other access to this thing? Do people have access to my devices? A lot of platforms allow you to see where you are logged in from. So if you are logged in a location that you are not aware of, then it's better you likely just reset your password, or you contact the platform and see if there can be anything to resolve the matter. Okay, so and also in some cases where, for example, you need to give your social media account details to people to do certain things for you, well, I think what I would say is that due diligence will play a role in it. You have to do a lot of due diligence. Number one, if somebody needs to do work for you and you need to release certain information to them, personal information to them, you should also require some form of ID from them, so that even if things go wrong tomorrow, you have an ID to hold on to. You say, oh, this person gave me this ID, and the ID matches what this person is saying. So if I give you my personal ID, the chance of me doing something criminal is lower. Okay, but if I come to you, I chat with you, oh, I want to do this and do this for you, and you send out your personal information to that person, and the person gets past, I mean, he was able to do what he needs to do and compromise your account, you do not have anything to hold on to say, oh, this is what I have regarding this person. Okay, so but if I request that, oh, you want to do this work with me, I need you to maybe fill this form or sign this thing and provide some form of ID, then people, anybody that wants to commit a crime will naturally just stop communicating with you from there. You understand? Because they don't want to provide it. So it's more like a way to also safeguard yourself. And even if you have a bigger project to do, because one thing I'm trying to balance here is the fact that as much as we have criminals, we also have a whole lot of young people that are talented and are open to working remotely, okay, with companies across the world. Okay, so it's not a all bad situation. Everybody, I mean, this percentage of those that are committing this crime are less than 10 to 15% of the population. But then, I mean, they've painted the whole population black. But then, like I said, if you want to work with people within this region, it's better you do a lot of due diligence and possibly have a team on ground that can help you to verify and do a bit of background check on some of these people to reduce the chances of you falling victim.
That's a great point. A background check is always important. So, any time I get somebody to do stuff for me, I should at least take the first step by asking them to provide at least a form of identification and do my due
Exactly.
diligence in terms of background check. Okay, now
Yes.
uh,
Because
to that point, what role do telecoms and social media platforms play in enabling or preventing these scams?
now, well, for social media, for these accounts, I mean, for some of the social platforms, I think my gross with them or my issue with them is that a lot of the times we, I'm trying to find the right words to use here. I know they have a lot to do, no doubt. They have a lot to do, no doubt. But nevertheless, I still feel that there needs to be a better way to deal with some of these things. Like, for example, the case of your LinkedIn account. I still don't feel it's a fair process to shut down your account because it was compromised. Okay, now, I mean, it's a very straightforward case. I mean, you are in the US, you are logged in from there. Somebody somewhere in the southern, I mean, in the southwestern part of Nigeria, logged into your account and compromised it to do one or two things with that account, which violated LinkedIn's profile. I mean, their policy.
Privacy policy,
Okay,
yes.
policy. But then, if you as a person say, "Oh, LinkedIn, I was hacked," I mean, it doesn't take much for them to, at the back end, from them back there to review the logs. Oh, the person that did this thing is not in the US. I mean, everything you are doing is logged. There's a log for everything.
Yeah,
It's
I
somewhere
did all that.
in
I did all that, and I felt like LinkedIn is just trying to play catch up here because you would think that their team would see where I'm coming from. I said, look, I'm based
exactly.
here. They have my identification. They asked me to verify myself, which I
Yeah, that's
did.
what I'm
I
saying.
sent them my details, personal information details. I said the person who hacked into my system is not me. It's somebody. I was able to see him. I did a little bit of uh, background check for this person, due diligence on my end. So I was able to establish that the person who accessed my account was based in Ondo State, Nigeria, right? So
And
I broke,
what
I
what
explained
I
it to
would
LinkedIn,
recommend.
and LinkedIn just decided to cancel my account.
What I would recommend is, as long as it's based in Nigeria, you could still file an official complaint with the Nigerian Security Agency. Of course, most people
Maybe
might
you
say
can
that
help me. You can help me since you work with law enforcement
I,
there. Can you help me
I,
identify this person?
I'm not sure I would do that
No, no.
because of
Can
course it's
one of
good.
you guys help me identify this person because I have an idea of where he is, the location.
It's possible. Identifying the person is possible,
Right,
but it's also tricky. It's also tricky in the sense that why I said it's a bit tricky. It's possible but tricky is the fact that things are not always very straightforward when it comes to cases like this.
right,
Because for the law enforcement, they will tell you, well, the crime he has committed is possibly not strong enough for us to devote resources into looking for him. You understand? So
mm,
it might not be something that they feel would worth their time to do. But then the day it gets on maybe the red list of maybe Interpol, and yeah, oh, this person is actually a big shot now. So
I think
it's
we
now
should.
somebody we need to go after.
I think why don't we do that? Can you help me put him on a list of one of the most wanted people on Interpol list? Surely,
I don't know how to
because
do that. I don't know how to do
if he's
that.
able to do that to me, he can do it to other people. I'm sure he's taking advantage of other people.
Definitely, he is. But then, don't also forget, like I said earlier, the crime has to be a very serious crime. And it has to be consistent. So we don't know much about the history of this person. But what a lot of people do most of the time is, when cases like this happen, and they're able to identify the person. Basically, what they do is to publish details of the person online,
Mhm.
which it's a 50-50 thing because they probably just hire somebody to investigate, look for the person. Then, if they're able to get the person, they also publish the person's information online. Oh, this person scammed me. Sometimes it could be just a phone number you have, and somebody will say, "Oh, this number called me and they scammed me of this amount of money." and they put out the phone number there, and people do their thing and they get the name, they get the location, they do all that stuff, and then I mean the information is in public now that oh this person committed this particular crime, even if law enforcement might not have the incentive to go after the person, but then there is more like a public shaming of the person for doing this and that. You understand? So it's a, like I said, it's a very tricky thing, but of course people can at some point he would have to get to that point where he would be identified and possibly exposed and likely arrested also.
Still on that point of law enforcement, is the law enforcement in Africa, in Nigeria, where you are, equipped to track and dismantle cybercrime networks that often operate across borders?
Yeah, for me, I would say yes. What I would probably say is that they seem overwhelmed. They're equipped because
They don't have resources to
um,
do it. Okay.
yes, they are overwhelmed. There's capacity is there, but let me say the technical capacity is there, but the human capacity to do it is where the problem is. Do they have enough people to launch a large scale operation to shut some of these things down? No, but then when cases get serious, the Nigerian law enforcement know what to do to get things resolved. You understand? So, like most security agencies in Nigeria, we have a lot of bits here and there, and most times you would see that there's a sense that the security agents are overwhelmed by cases. Okay, so for me, I would say that the capacity to do such is there, but the problem might be that they do not have that manpower to be able to launch something large scale, but maybe something more targeted, yes, but something large scale across the country, that will require a lot of resources. And I mean, Nigeria is a big country, so that
Hmm.
will require a lot of resources, which um, I don't know they have. The government will probably want to put that down. But then I think the ones that they're able to hold on to and get, I mean, they've had a lot of prosecution this year alone. So, yeah, over time, I think as we move forward, we will get to a better stage where we can combat these things more effectively.
Uh, Interesting. To that point, beyond the arrests Interpol made, beyond uh, how law enforcement is fighting those crimes in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, what long-term strategies are there or are needed to build cyber resilience in Africa?
Well, I think for across Africa, we just need to work with more young people to be able to provide opportunities for them, I mean, to expose them to opportunities that are available. In this same country, we have a lot of young people that, I mean, they are working remotely and they're making a lot of money for themselves and they're doing fine for themselves. They're working with global companies from here. And I mean, from their house, they are doing a lot of remote jobs and they are making a lot of money for themselves. But then the question is how much of this type of opportunities are available to young people within this region? Okay, so we need to find ways to build capacity among young people. We need to be able to find ways by which we can channel the energy into something positive, because that is the only way we can reduce crime. When people have opportunities, a lot of people are not asking for so much; they just want to survive. So, if we're able to provide an avenue for them to survive, then we would see some of this crime reduce. Okay, and it's in everybody's interest. It's not a matter of oh, it's an African problem. No, it's not. It's a global problem. Okay, because we are talking about cybercrime today. Tomorrow we'll be talking about immigration, issues with immigration. Tomorrow we'll be talking about terrorism. Everything is linked together. Cybercrime is just one of them. Okay, everything is linked together. And the easiest way you can solve this problem is to provide systems to empower young people. When you empower young people, if you are empowered, I mean, and you are doing a legit work and I mean, you are making money and you are fine, the chances of you throwing that away is very slim. Okay, but if you have nothing to do, you have nothing to lose, then it can be a problem to the society because I mean the society doesn't care about you. So why should you also care about the society? You have nothing to lose. So And now let's burn everything down. That's just the way a lot of these people look at things that, well, the society has not done anything for me, so why should I care about what the society think about what I do? Okay, until they get into trouble, then they plead for mercy. But then, like I said, the long-term strategy is let's improve capacity for young people. Let's provide opportunities for them because that's the easiest way we can reduce things from happening. Because if you are able to teach them what they need to do, what they need to know, and we build their capacity, then I mean, if I'm, for example, and I'm into animation, for example, I do animations and I'm good at what I do. The chance of me going to say I want to go and do, I want to go and be doing romance come, I don't even have the time. Or is he a photographer or a video person that is doing his media work? Would say, "Oh, I want to create some time to be scamming people online." You are too busy to do. You are too busy with your work to be doing all those things. You get, but it's those people that do not have much to do. Society basically do not provide opportunities for, and they create their own opportunities by going into this crime. And it's difficult for you to talk them out of it because they will tell you, okay, if I leave this thing, what else will I do? You understand? And that's where the problem is. So I think we have to create an environment where people are empowered. Then we should improve law enforcement by creating laws that make it harder for people to do these things. When people know the consequence of what they are doing and they know that there's no way around those consequences, then the chance of doing this will reduce. Okay? It's as simple as this is why we don't take it seriously is because people don't consider it as a violent crime. But then, if you commit a violent crime within the local community, you see the way the local community will rise up against you. But then, if you commit this type of crime, cyber crimes, people just look away because to them, they are not a threat to the society, to the immediate society, or to the immediate local community. So let's just let them be. Think about the day you probably walk into somebody's house and go and rob them, then you will realize that your local community might not be very friendly with you.
Yeah, I know you have to run very briefly. Do you think with the emergence of AI, artificial intelligence, cyber crime has increased or has reduced because of are people using AI to commit some of these crimes, or can AI play a role in uh, stopping some of these crimes?
Well, like every technology, it's a two-way. I mean, it's a two-edged sword. While AI would help to combat some of those things, for example, we have a telecoms service provider that launched like an AI SMS, whatever. I don't know whatever. I've never really used it, but I just know they had this advert where they will tell you, oh, they have an AI system on the network. So when scammers send you an SMS, the AI will notify you that this looks like a scammer and all this kind of thing. So AI can help in a large scale to help identify patterns and find connections that are difficult for humans to figure out. But nevertheless, also, the same AI can still be used to enhance cyber criminals, their activities. For example, by cloning faces, by cloning voices, people can easily steal from other people. So, we have AI today that can create my face and create my voice. So, if it does that, and you send it to people like I want to do a video call with someone, and they clone that person's face and that person's voice to call their relatives to request certain things. To their relative, oh, I'm seeing this person on my phone, I'm seeing his picture, I'm seeing his video. So it's the person I know. But it could be an AI that is generating all those things. And to them, they might not be aware of it. Okay, so AI will definitely make cybersecurity, cybercrime will possibly aid cybercrime. But then also, it would also help to combat it. But the important thing here is this the internet also came that way. It was supposed to be for good, but now we are talking about cyber crimes. So the same thing too. We have AI for good, AI for bad. At the end of the day, but what really matters the most is how do we create tools that can help us detect and figure out what is real and what is fake. Okay, so for most of the platforms, Android, iOS, Windows, can we create systems that can help people identify? Because AI is getting, if for example, You go to, I mean, Google Gemini, for example, and I mean, I think about last week, I saw a lady who generated all her birthday photo shoots on Gemini. And people are like asking her, how do you generate, like, even a photographer can do something this wonderful. And they were all AI generated, just uploaded one of her pictures and told Gemini to generate like maybe 4 or 5 different pictures with different prompts. And it did. And she shared it, and everybody, and she was like, "Oh, if I told people that these things were generated by AI, people would not believe." Everybody was shocked that, "Oh, how do you generate it?" Now I have somebody close to me now already planning to do that for her birthday coming next month. That, oh, I'll go and copy this lady's prompt and use it also in my own photo shoot. To create my own photo shoot just to save money. You understand? So
Right.
people would use AI in ways that even now, we don't know yet. Okay, so the important thing is, can we create tools that can help people identify what is real and what is fake? Because it's getting harder to know what is real and what is fake now. So as we move forward, we hope that those that create some of these technologies can also help create technologies that can help people differentiate the real from the fake using AI also.
Well, Ade, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me today.
Adedeje is a tech and cyber security analyst based in Lagos, Nigeria. We want to know what you think about these latest cyber crimes and the arrests made in Africa. Share your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. And of course, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to Paul Ndiho on Substack, X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Spotify. Thanks for watching. I will see you soon. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Okay, hang on for a minute, okay?
Okay.